Today I will be talking about Louise Bourgeois. Louise Bourgeois was a French-born artist. I will be talking about how she revolutionized art and the different emotions she used in her art pieces. Louise Bourgeois created many different art forms but was best known for her installation pieces. She created installation art at a time where installation art wasn't very big and was at its very start. She was a provocative artist in her time who often embodied the woman artist role in the late 1900s. This was needed because at this time, women were seen as a second opposed to men. Her artwork often had surrealism and instilled symbolism. She confronted the sexist culture and advocated for the sexual liberation art movement and included abrupt shifts of scale and shape. She inspired artists because of the use of unconscious emotion in her art pieces. She was one of the first artists to display psychologically charged and intimate art pieces, which inspired many future female artists. One of her very popular pieces was The Destruction of the Father, 1974. This was actually her first installation piece. It was also her first piece using soft markings on a large scale. This piece was made of plaster, latex, wood, and fabric. The inspiration of this piece arose from her father's infidelity to her mother. In this piece, in the very center is a life-size dinner table. On the table there is pieces that are meant to be seen as dismembered body parts of her father. These objects are all in a cave that is meant to look like a womb-like space. On that space there is also arrangements of bumps that are meant to look like breasts. These pieces are all lit by a red light that symbolizes death, anger, and blood. This piece comes from a place in her childhood where the presence of her dad at the dinner table deadens the dinner every night, all while showing emotions of self, motherhood, domesticity, and anger. Her father's infidelity to her mother was the beginning of her engagement with double standards related to gender and sexuality. The next piece I will be talking about is called Fillet, 1968. In this piece, Bourgeois layered latex over plaster to create a fleshy, tactile texture in her piece. This is one of her pieces that captures her manipulation of gender metaphors using biomorphic imagery. In this piece, you can clearly see the male testicles, but they are also meant to be seen as breasts. The erect penis is meant to be seen as a neck, as well, implying the female torso. The title itself reads as The Little Girl in English, implying that she's seen masculine attributes as very delicate. The distortion of both male and female anatomy in this piece was a statement on her part. She wanted to point out that the two are indistinguishable. Lastly, I will be briefly talking about her cell collection. These were formed using objects of her childhood. She depicted objects such as penises, breast-like bulges, and spiders, all within cell-like structures. Through this collection, she expressed both her childhood memories and emotions of fear, loneliness, abandonment, and pain, while using objects such as clothes, fabric, furniture, and emotionally charged settings. Louise Bourgeois almost always focused on the manipulation of the human body, whether oversized, supine, realistic, or abstract. She remained to be deeply personal in her art pieces. She developed concepts that are key to the contemporary art, like the use of environment installation, feminist themes, all within her art pieces. Her career not only changed art itself, but changed the discussion of art. She used psychoanalysis engagement in her art and female inclusion as subjects in art rather than as objects in a period of time where the art industry was predominantly male-focused. She truly inspired art and wasn't afraid to step out of the stereotypical times where women were discouraged from dealing with sexual subject matters. I hope you all enjoyed listening to my report and hopefully learned something about Louise Bourgeois or art itself. Thank you.